This video is sponsored by AkiFlow, which I'll chat about later. If I had a dime for every time someone told me they didn't have time to read, I would probably be able to afford a really nice hardcover book. But in all seriousness, I actually have heard this so many times, and I personally have also said it myself. Life happens, I have a full-time job, and I was recently moving, and my time just started to get away from me in a way that I did not like, and I wasn't reading as much as I wanted to in July. And as some productivity nuts may say, you just need to make the time to do the things that you want to do. And I do think this piece of advice is useful in cases where you have the opportunity and privilege to be able to prioritize your life in such a way that you can have the things you want to do at the top of the list. I am lucky enough to have my 9-to-5 corporate job and also YouTube, but in previous years I had been working like other part-time jobs where I seriously actually did not have the time. But in recent months I've definitely had the time to read, but I've struggled to prioritize it over other things. So this week I decided that I'm going to embark on an unhinged experiment where I wake up at 5 a.m. every day for 5 days for the work week and see if that will help me read more in my week and make time for reading. I already know I'm gonna regret this at some point, but here we are. So let's follow me as I embark on this journey and attempt to read a lot more than I usually do. Hello friends, good morning. It is 5:34 in the morning. I woke up at 5, washed my face, got ready, set up the lighting here for this goddamn camera that would not cooperate, and now we are here to start reading. I don't feel particularly tired at the moment. I feel like I jolted awake pretty well. I was pretty cold while sleeping, so I did change into warmer pajamas, and I do have a blanket ready. I'm basically gonna cozy up on this couch, set a timer for an hour, and read for that time. I'm planning to read Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. I'm about halfway through this, maybe a little bit more. I've been reading it on my e-reader though, so I need to find where my spot is on the physical copy because this is the first time that I've actually had the time to sit down and read with the physical copy of this book. Usually I'm reading this on the go with my e-reader, so this will be a nice different little treat. And then as you can see, I have a lot of windows behind me and a really great view. Rather than reading with this giant lamp next to me, I'm going to be using my reading lamp over here, my trusty little reading lamp. Essentially, we take the back cover of the book. This works the best on hardcovers, but it also works on paperbacks. Clip it on the back, adjust it over your page, and voila, you have reading light. This one that I have also has like the ability to change the brightness and the temperature of the light. I don't know if you can see that, but that's like more of an orange light. So yes, that is the plan. I'm gonna start my timer and we're gonna get going. Okay, so it is 12:20 p.m. on Monday, August 5th. We are 7 hours into this day, which is way too long. I definitely had a energy crash around 11 a.m., which was right around the time that I was supposed to do a recorded interview with Dina, who you may know as the author of Dust Settles North, which is the book that my imprint, Boundless Press, will be publishing next year in summer 2025 through Bindery. If you aren't a member of my Bindery community yet, go check it out down below. There are some free posts, but the rest are for my my Inner Circle and Associate Publisher tiers, and you can join the Inner Circle tier for the cost of a coffee and get the whole behind the scenes of the publishing process for this book, including this interview with Dina, the author. But yeah, I had this energy crash like right before the interview, so I asked her to hop on like 15 minutes later, and then we did the call and we recorded the interview, and it went great. She's so lovely, and I had a really great time just getting to know her better. But now that the interview is done, I thought I would update you on what I read this morning. So during my timed hour in the morning, I did read more of Alone with You in the Ether by Olivia Blake. This was technically a book club pick for my book club, The Boundless Book Club, a couple months ago, but with everything going on, I didn't have the chance to finish it. So I'm currently on part 4 after having read this morning. And I think I read, let's see, I started on page 135 and I got to 167. So about 32 pages over the course of an hour. That's not very good. Technically, I should have hit about a page a minute in regular person reading speed, but I found my mind just wandering a lot. I feel like now that I've done it once, it'll be easier to do it tomorrow. But in terms of how this is going, I am in love with this book. It's going so well. We've reached a turning point in the story that I am so excited about because I love these characters. Essentially, this book follows 2 really weird, eccentric characters, I would say, Reagan and then Aldo, I think is his name. And it's basically just like a literary fiction love story, I would say, but with like a lot of pondering and internal thoughts from both characters. And I think the chemistry of the characters is just really fantastic. Like, it's the perfect mix of things that I just love. But the main thing that I'm really loving is actually the bipolar representation in this book. Reagan has bipolar in this book, which, if you didn't know, I have bipolar disorder. And so seeing that representation in books is really exciting to me. And especially the point where we're at in the book is bringing her disorder to the forefront of this story. So I'm curious to see where things are going to go. I should mention that Olivia Blake also has bipolar disorder. So this is like very much, you know, her speaking from her own experiences as well. So yeah, it's been feeling very authentic, the representation here, which is why I've been loving it so much. So I still have about 100 pages left of this. Now, while I was doing my makeup this morning, I did decide to put on the audiobook for The Lion Women of Tehran by Marjan Kamali. This is also the book club pick for my book club, The Boundless Book Club on Fable. If you haven't joined already, go join using the link down below. Download the app Fable and join in on the discussion. There are these little chat rooms for each chapter of the book so that you can discuss the book without spoiling anyone and really get into all the details. And Fable also has an interactive e-reader on the app itself, which lets you like highlight and react and do sort of a social reading experience with the other people in the club. So if you do go on there, you'll see like my comments and highlights on the book already, and I'm gonna go add in my ones for the few chapters that I listened to this morning. But this book is so good. I love this author and her writing. She is just such an impressive writer. For those of you who may not remember, Marjan Kamali is the author of The Stationery Shop, which is one of my favorite books ever. I love it to death. And this one seems to cover a lot of similar themes, although it doesn't have like the main sort of romance that like The Stationery Shop had. This one has a very important female friendship at the core of it. And we're seeing it at 2 different points, like when it started, and then we're also seeing it many years later when they are no longer in contact. And the book also covers like time in the 1950s during political unrest in Iran and just like the characters' experiences during that time. So far, really, really good. I'm like, I would say 5 or 6 chapters in. Generally, the aim of this experiment is just to get me reading more throughout the week, throughout my day. Today I have the day off because it's a civic holiday in Canada, but tomorrow and like the rest of the week, I will have 9 to 5 work, like my full-time job. So that will definitely put a damper on reading, but the hope is that I get at least an hour of reading done in the morning at 5 a.m. before the rest of the day starts. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 6th, and it's 5:18 a.m. I am hella tired. I'm starting to wake up a little bit now, but waking up initially at 5 was such a struggle. I definitely waited like a couple minutes in bed, hoping that I wouldn't actually have to get up, but unfortunately, here we are. I do have to go to the gym at 7 a.m. but I have to leave my place around 6:30, 6:35. So today's reading session might only get to be like 55 minutes. Today, I think I'm still gonna read Alone with You in the Ether so I can get through that and potentially finish it. And then the last couple days of this experiment, I think I might want to do a different book for a different vlog, but we'll see. Hello everyone, it is 6:19 in the morning. I read for 51 minutes and I'm a bit further into Alone with You in the Ether. I'm on page 182, which I honestly don't remember where I stopped yesterday. I think that's only like 20 pages or something, which is upsetting, but here we are. I'm just generally a slower reader in the morning because I'm just tired and I take longer to like process the words, but we're at a point in the book where the characters are just so stunning. They're just in a really special moment right now, and like literally every line I want to highlight it and underline it. I just love Olivia Blake's writing. I feel like the writing in this one is just so particularly different and really fits the story itself. So yeah, highly recommend if you haven't read this already. I know I'm not even at the end yet, but like the whole entire process of reading this book has been really beautiful. I just got dressed for the gym and I'm about to head out in a few minutes and I will check back with you later. Hello friends, it is the evening. It is 8:09 p.m. on this fine Tuesday. I'm definitely feeling less tired later in the day today. For some reason, I think it's because I got more sleep last night, but I also just felt more energetic throughout the day, I feel like. I didn't have a midday crash, and I was also a lot more energetic at the gym. I usually don't eat before I go to work out in the morning just because I can't eat that close to a workout. It affects my digestion and it's not pretty. Since I was already up at 5 a.m. and my workout wasn't until 7, I had a lot more time, so I could actually eat something beforehand. So I had a protein bar and it made me way more energetic at the workout. I was also more awake, and so I was actually able to squat way more than I usually do, which was really nice. In terms of reading though, I was only able to get 51 minutes of reading in the morning because I had to go to the gym. For tomorrow, I definitely want to minimize the time it takes me from like getting out of bed to starting reading. I feel like I sort of drag myself a little slowly and I'm still waking up. And then I also want to see if I can read more pages. I was only able to get through, I think, another 20 or so pages, which isn't ideal, but again, this book has like so many words on the page, and it's definitely a book with like super literary writing and all that. Anyways, my entire point to this update is that I am starting to enjoy this experiment on day 2, but we'll see how day 3, 4, and 5 go because they might just go downhill. Hello friends, it is Thursday, August 8th. Waking up today was such a struggle. Like I couldn't do it for at least 5 minutes. And then I got up and now it's almost 5:30. So we're not doing great on time, but we're gonna make it work. I am on the final part of Alone with You in the Ether, and it's reaching a level that I didn't expect it to go to, and it's really interesting. It's delving into the mental illness part of the story a little bit more than I thought it did, which I'm really excited by. And I'm so curious to see how this is gonna end because it's giving the vibe that it may be a bittersweet, sad ending. Who knows? Good morning, everyone. Today is Friday, and I definitely failed in getting up early today. It is currently 5:31, and I'm gonna start a new book because I finished Alone with You in the Ether last night, but I will be starting Gothicana by Rue Nix. I will be reading this for a upcoming blog where I read romantasy books. This will be the first in a series, and I'm really intrigued to see how this is gonna go. I feel like now that we're on the last day, I am both excited that tomorrow I get to sleep in, but also kind of sad that I won't have the same level of motivation to wake up at 5 a.m. without this video happening. So it's a mixed bag, because I do feel like there were some really good benefits to me waking up this early, but in a lot of other ways, not really benefits. Okay, I'm gonna get to reading now and having a snack. Hello friends, it is the weekend and I finally got to sleep in. It was definitely really weird waking up late yesterday and today's Sunday, August 11th, because I felt like I had started my day so much later, which technically I was. And somehow I felt just like worse about myself, to be honest, because I hadn't gotten like a million things done by 10 a.m. However, I definitely think that I couldn't have done 5 a.m. Saturday and Sunday just because doing it for 7 days straight is like unhinged. And also you just need to rest at some point. Like I definitely felt the exhaustion yesterday and a little bit today. Waking up was a lot harder because I knew I could sleep in and so therefore I wanted to. But after having done 5 days of waking up at 5 a.m. and reading in the morning and, you know, having extra time before I go to the gym, I actually started to realize that I really enjoyed doing that for some reason. I think part of it is the fact that when I'm up that early, I'm already super awake by the time I'm leaving for the gym around 6:30 in the morning. And so actually my gym performance was a lot better this entire week because I had the time to eat beforehand and digest a little bit, and so therefore I could like lift heavier. And I overall just felt a little bit more energetic at work in the morning. Now, of course, none of this actually relates to reading, but waking up in the morning to read, even if it was like a few pages, definitely got reading on my mind for the rest of the day, and I felt more encouraged to pick up a book later in the day. Like I wanted to read more. But I did find myself throughout those 5 days reading a lot more before bed. I found it to be more of a routine, and then it became this thing that I was thinking about first thing in the morning and last thing at night. As many of you may know, I am a super productivity nut. I love having productivity apps to use to plan my day, to figure out what I need to do. And it really comes in handy because I am juggling so many things in my life. I'm juggling my full-time job, YouTube, and then also Bindery and all the things that come with that. And so I've really been looking for a productivity app that helps a lot more with like time blocking and task management and just makes a much more cohesive workflow for me throughout the days. I am a very forgetful person. If I don't write it down somewhere that I need to do something that day, then I'm definitely gonna forget it. And so that's kind of where Akiflow comes in. Akiflow is designed for literally people like me, busy professionals or people doing multiple things, juggling multiple things, who need to stay organized and productive. So whether you're running your own business or just working in a corporate environment, Akiflow really helps users stay focused and achieve their goals. So as you can see here, there's a lot going on in the screen, but I'm going to take you through what I love the most about Akiflow. So on the far left, you can see this list of projects, and then there's also a list of tags. This system is really important to me because it helps me organize the time that I'm spending on certain things and certain parts of my life and work. The projects are also really nice because Akiflow color codes your tasks based off of the project color. So one of the really cool things about Akiflow is that they have this feature called slots, which you can basically use as a time block for a specific type of work. So for me, I tend to use it for like when I'm filming or when I'm editing, and I could also drop tasks into that slot to let me know what I'm going to be doing. So for this whole vlog, when I was reading at 5 a.m., I actually had a time slot at 5 a.m. for an hour across these 5 days so that it was time blocked in my calendar. And another super cool feature that Akiflow has is that they have a universal inbox. So essentially the universal inbox is just a running tally of all of the tasks that you need to get done, and you can add to that inbox as needed. And then from there, you can go through your inbox and sort of plan them on specific days that you want to get those tasks done and assign them to projects and add tags. You also have the option to snooze it, which means that you snooze it until some point in the future, and after that time passes, it'll reappear in your inbox for you to replan it. Now, Akiflow also has a really robust system for integrating with other apps. This includes two apps that I use all the time, which is Gmail and Notion. Now, when it comes to Gmail, this is probably my favorite integration because it makes it so much easier to remember which emails I need to respond to. The more you use Akiflow, the more its integrated AI learns learns what kind of tasks go in which projects, and it'll automatically populate the project onto a task. Obviously, the more you use Akiflow, the more the AI learns and figures out your patterns. This is a fairly new feature, but if you don't like it, you can always turn it off as well. So as you've probably gathered, Akiflow is really made to save you time. And another way they help you save time is through their very intuitive command bar. I've never been this productive, and especially coming out of like a vacation and a move where I felt like I was super disorganized and didn't know what I was doing, Akiflow really helped me pull things together. So with that said, I highly recommend taking control of your schedule and boosting your productivity with time blocking using Akiflow. Whether you're running your own business or just juggling a side hustle or working your regular corporate job, Akiflow is really going to make it so much easier to visualize the tasks that you need to do throughout the day and actually help you get them done. I'm so excited for all of you to experience the level of productivity I've been feeling, so definitely go check out Akiflow. Use the link down below and help a girl out. Even if you're not chasing a productivity level per se, I think it'll just help you organize your life and figure out things that you need to do and prioritize. All right, I could keep going on and on about how much I love Akiflow, but thank you so much to Akiflow for sponsoring today's video. And thank you so much to all of you for watching this video. Let me know down below what you thought of my experiment and whether you would do it yourself or maybe not. If you think I'm absolutely crazy for having done this, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video, and please remember that the story ain't over. Bye.